Hello, all you beautiful people. Today, I want to review the Cirkul. Everyone's reviewing this thing, and I'm joining the bandwagon. My daughter talked me into buying one of these this past week, and so here's my chance to review it. It's a neat little deal. Retailed at our local grocery store for $29.99. It was on sale for $20. So we picked it up. It comes with a 22-ounce bottle and 3 of these flavor cartridges. I think you can buy the flavor cartridges either for around $4 or $5 per cartridge. So if they were $4 a cartridge, then we paid around $8 for the bottle. All right. So these guys are promoting that this is an 84% reduction in plastic. That's based on, I believe, based on each one of these flavor cartridges will flavor up to 6 20-ounce bottles of water. So if it replaces 6 20-ounce bottles of water, then why isn't it 100% plastic reduction? Well, obviously it's because it's made of plastic, right? And so here's what really bummed me out. I mean, let's review the thing. It's got flavor in here. You put water in here. You dial up the intensity of the flavor you want. You take the lid off. You kick it back. You drink some flavored water, and it's delicious, right? And you can customize the flavor, and all of that stuff is wonderful, right? It's a very convenient way to flavor your water. I'll give them that. Pretty cool package. It actually reminds me of a baby bottle in the design and the type of plastic it's being used and the way it's put together. It just really has the feel of a baby bottle. So that's cool. That's great. But the problem I have is this flavor cartridge that is supposedly will flavor 6 20-ounce bottles of water. This is 22 ounces, so it's somewhere between 5 and 6 fills in this, depending on the intensity you have the flavor at, because if you're full blast at 10, it's probably only going to last bottle and a half, 2 bottles, right? But don't even try it at 10. I'm telling you, if you get one of these, don't even waste your taste buds on level 10 because it's way too intense. You might as well just be drinking the straight flavor shots. So all that's well and wonderful, cool packaging. I think that this packaging is a little bit excessive for what you're getting. You know, there's this big freaking plastic thing in here and all of this weird cardboard in here that also has a magnetic thing in here. So because it's got magnets and metal, because that's what makes magnets work, I don't even know if you can recycle the package, man. I really don't. I think in order to recycle this, you got to friggin' tear into it, and I don't know if you can see that little circle there. I think that's the little mini magnet, and then I don't know if what it's sticking to on this side. I don't get it. So I don't even know if the package is recyclable. I don't see anything on the package that's saying it's recyclable, but I haven't looked it over 100%. It might say that, but I'm going to assume that in order to recycle this, you got to dissect it, and then you can recycle it. And it's the same issue with this. It's not 100% reduction because this, that only lasts for a limited use, is plastic, right? So supposedly one of these lasts for 6 of these, but if you hold these side by side, This weighs more than this. I'll give there's some flavor in here, so that's giving it a little bit of weight. But I think empty, this weighs more than this. So you, five, you're saving 5 water bottles from the recycling center. But here's the real issue. This is number one. This is the most common plastic used on the planet. Highly recycled, highly recyclable. If I take this empty bottle, soda bottle, water bottle, whatever, and I take it to my recycling center, I can be pretty confident that it's going to get recycled, right? This is a number 5 plastic, which not all municipalities will recycle number 5, so you have to check your local municipality. If you're buying this product for plastic reduction for the planet, chances are you already aren't buying these to consume your water, so buying this isn't a reduction in plastic because you've already stopped doing this because you care about the planet, right? And you don't want to use single-use plastic. And this is a new single-use plastic. Once it's empty, you discard it. If you want to recycle this, first you have to check and make sure they take number 5 at your recycling center. If they do, and that's a big if, now you have to consider inside here where the flavor is a foil pouch. That foil pouch is not plastic. So you can't put this into your number 5 recycling bin because it's got a non-recyclable material component in it that is not a number 5 plastic. So if you do want to recycle this, you have to tear it apart, take the guts out, throw that in the trash, or I don't know if the foil is recyclable in a separate bin, but there's disassembly required in order to recycle this. Now, in that foil packet is just a flavoring, a liquid flavoring. Similar, I'm assuming, similar to this. So you're getting this new delivery system. That's really basically what this is. This is a new delivery system for something like this. So instead of taking this, squirting in your personal water container, whatever you use, glass, plastic, metal, whatever water container you're using because you care about the planet, so you're using a reusable water container. Instead of purchasing one of these and going and flavoring your water and having this colored water in your container that you have to wash out, you're going for the convenience of this delivery system where it's not getting mixed in the bottle stays clean. That's one of their other selling points. It stays clean because the flavor never gets in there, so you don't really have to worry about that. But if you're into it for that level of convenience, right, because that's more convenient for you than having to wash your bottle and put this in, then it's highly likely that you're not the type of person who's going to disassemble this to recycle it. And so I have the feeling that our recycling centers are getting these, and when they see them like this, they either, it's so new they don't know what it is, so they just toss it off to the side, or they're going to discover pretty quickly that there's a non-plastic component in the middle, and so when they come in like this, they're going to stop processing them and recycling them with their number 5 plastics because they've got an incompatibility in it. And so what happens to that? Landfill? I don't know. I don't think that Cirkul's, what they're promoting here in this single-use plastic reduction, I think it's very misleading. I think it's unethical that they're saying that. They don't specify anywhere on their labeling that this should be recycled. They don't even bother to say that, which I think ethically, if they're talking about plastic reduction, they should at least say, hey, recycle this, and oh, by the way, it's a number 5, so you have to put it in a different bin, and oh, by the way, there's a non-recyclable component, so you got to take that out before you put it in the number 5 bin. If they were an ethical company that really cared about plastic waste reduction, they would put that on their labels. If you're someone like me who cares to take the time to research a new product that your child talked you into buying, um, you have to go on a deep dive on the internet to find out what type of plastic that is and what you're supposed to do with it. And it's not until you get on this deep dive and other people are talking about it and talking about the non-recyclable components in it. And, you know, in a net zero world, we're not looking at net zero here. We're looking at, realistically, I think, someone who buys this because they care about reducing plastic are already not buying these. And so the end result is they've increased their single-use plastic with this. Because before they weren't buying single-use plastic and throwing it away, they bought this, and now they've got a single-use plastic component that they're throwing away, or they're sending it to a recycling center and it may or may not be getting recycled. Versus, if you really care about the planet, you got duped by these guys into buying a new type of single-use plastic under the pretense that you were reducing your single-use plastic. If you got duped, here's what you do. You go to your local Walmart and for $2.99 or something like that, buy one of these flavor bottles, right? Go on YouTube. There's videos on there showing you how to safely, without breaking it, disassemble this cartridge, and that foil pouch inside, you take this flavor and you pour it into that foil, and you've reloaded this so it's no longer single use. So if you got duped and you bought one of these and you don't want to just toss it in, and by the way, I believe that says number 7, which is an even less common recycled plastic than the number 5. So I don't even know if any of this is going to make it to the recycling centers, and it all might end up in the landfill because it's this weird plastic that we're not using regularly, and so we don't have refined recycling methods for this stuff. And we say we recycle it, but most of us who care about recycling and whatnot already know that a large percentage of our recycled products aren't even getting recycled. They're being rejected for things like, I don't know, a non-recyclable component. So they don't recycle it, they throw it in the landfill. You know, there's a lot of reasons why they're not recycling things that we put in the recycling bin. But if you got duped and you got this, go on YouTube, find the hack video on how you can refill these cartridges so it's no longer single use. You can just buy these, which may, I'm not sure what plastic this is. It may also be a number 5, but it doesn't have a non-recyclable component in the middle of it. And for one of these, for like $2.99, you can fill like 10 of these. So you're going to save money, refill that deal, and, you know, balance it out a little bit. And then there's your single-use plastic where you got 10 instead of 6, right? 10 instead of 6, and this is less plastic than this. So there's some reduction going on there. Or just drink water, you know? I'm going to keep this. I already paid for it. I'm not going to go take it to my local recycling center and have them throw it in the landfill because it's weird plastic. So I already pick these up for like when I'm camping and stuff, because sometimes I like something other than water, and I like to reduce the weight that I take in, which is one of their selling points. On Cirkul, they're talking about shipping weight. There's a lot of weight reduction, but with packaging like this and all this big space in here, I mean, there's a lot of empty space here. That takes up space on a truck, and you know, I don't know that you're saving a whole lot on the carbon footprint on shipping when you've got this ridiculous huge packaging. But But yeah, I like to reduce the weight when I'm going camping or backpacking or hiking. So I buy these so that I can flavor my water. And you know, if I'm filtering water from a stream or whatever, then I'm not packing in the water, and I've just got a drinking container that I use, and I can just throw some flavor in there, and I can have flavored water while I'm out in the backcountry or whatever. So I already buy these for that reason. Um, if they had a more environmentally friendly packaging, or if you know of a more environmentally friendly packaging for these, please let me know. Share that with me because I'd love to use that instead of this plastic. But anyways, it's a big scam. Buyer beware. There's technically they're not false advertising because everything they claim is technically true, but when you look at the big picture and actual, who's buying this product for those reasons, and you look at it in a more global view and taking things into consideration, I believe that this single-use plastic is actually increasing the single-use plastic if people are buying this for the advertised reasons to reduce their plastic water bottles. Again, because people who care about that already aren't buying those single-use water bottles. So you're selling a product to someone who's not buying the product you're claiming they're saving the planet from, and now you've sold them a new single-use plastic, and they've already been trying to avoid single-use plastic. So buyer beware. I think it's a scam.